You only have one chance to make a first impression.
Callie, please, oh my God. No.
Don't catch because you're on video.
It might be your last word. Callie, I am scared. I'm gonna start crying. I feel like I feel like I want to puke. Oh my God. Hallie. No, are you gonna count down?
What do you want to count down from?
5. Oh my! Oh shit! I can't. Ow. Oh my God. Are we done? Oh God. I can't breathe. I think I blacked out like 3 times. Carly, where are you? Oh my God. Look at me. Look at me. Carly, look at me. Look over. What the hell? Oh, my top's Carly. I'm really scared right now. Why are we so far up? My head banged about 4 times. I'm gonna cry.
Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more amazing, entertaining, delightful, great disciple content.
Tell me where the freak's at.
Hold up. Hey.
Plaintiff Ashley Stevens is suing her cousin for the balance owed on a car and a cell phone bill. Ashley claims she taught the defendant how to drive and helped her purchase a car, but the defendant left Ashley high and dry.
Cue the defendant.
Defendant Danielle Stevens says her relationship with Ashley went sour when she caught Ashley keying their aunt's car. Danielle's countersuing for car payments and vandalism.
All right, the plaintiff is suing her cousin for the balance owed on a car and a cell phone bill. The defendant is countersuing her cousin for payments made on a car and vandalism. Ashley, state your case.
My cousin Danielle moved from New York about less than a year ago, and when she came out here, I convinced her to go back to school because she wasn't in school. I'm a college student. I would drive her to school every day when that semester started, and I knew that she would need a car.
She drove both of us to school. We went to school together.
You went to school together?
Yes.
What school is this?
Lone Star Community College.
Yeah, all right, so you went to a community college together.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
It was my second year there, and you only do 2 years at a community college, and I knew that my time was up and I'd be transferring, so I told her she would need to learn how to drive and get a car so that she can continue to go to school.
Where are the buses?
They don't have public, I mean, they have public transportation, but it's
Where
only...
is this, hon? Where
Houston,
is this?
Texas.
They don't have buses in Houston?
It's the Harris County. They don't really have buses that run completely throughout the whole city.
I've been to Houston. That doesn't make sense, but go ahead.
So I told her she would need to learn how to drive and she would need to get a car because I'd be transferring schools next semester.
Okay.
So she got a learner's permit, and I had been teaching her how to drive. And I saw a car at the school that was for sale, and I told her that this would be a good car for her, and she and I agreed that we'd purchase it, well, that she would buy it, and I would help her pay for it.
Okay.
And when she got money, she would pay me back for it.
All right, so what kind of car is it?
It's a 2000 Saab 9.3.
How much is this car?
$3,300.
$3,300. Okay, and who pays what on the car?
I paid the complete balance on the car.
What does that mean, you paid the balance?
The money I used to purchase the car was from a student loan that I get. Every year when it comes time to fill out your financial aid, I always have a hard time. So when that school year starts, I always take out a little bit extra for the next school year because it takes me a while to have my papers processed.
Right.
With that remaining money, I take it and I put it into a CD until that next school year starts.
All right, where did the problem start?
The day we purchased the car, I gave her $400 in cash because she didn't want to go back and forth from my bank to her other bank, where she had to
So you gave her $400 in cash.
Yes.
Did she give you $400 in cash?
No.
Right off the start. Okay. Do you have anything that shows you gave her $400?
I do.
All right. So the car's in your name, Ashley?
Yes.
Not in her name?
The car is, no. It's not
Just
in her
your name alone?
Well, the titles aren't transferred yet, so it's pending still.
Pending still?
I never transferred the titles.
Why not?
Because she agreed that to make the car cheaper, that we would just transfer the titles once. So when she got her license, we would transfer it from the previous owner right into her name.
So the car is now in the previous owner's name?
Still.
Who's got the car?
She does.
What are you showing me here?
That's two different bank statements. One was a U.S. bank card, which I gave her $1,600 from that one card, and then another one only has $287.
All right, on April 29th, I have a withdrawal of $403. All right, and is that the day we bought the car? $3,300, April 29th. All right, that makes sense. All right, so what happens? Are you two living together?
We were living together,
With
yes.
our grandmother.
With your grandmother? Mm-hmm. Okay, so...
The problem started when I left to New York for the summer.
Okay.
We got into an argument because she had called me and said that there was possibly a ticket on the car. I had already been in New York for about a month. We got into an argument and she cut off my cell phone.
Well, whose cell phone plan is it?
It was in her name, but it was a family plan.
Are you suing her for the cell phone as well?
I'm suing her for the bill that she didn't pay. We had an agreement that we'd split the cost.
All right, did you pay for the cell phone?
Yes, I did. I paid to purchase the phones. I also paid the first month's bill for the both of us.
Okay.
And every month after that, I paid my $40
So
towards
why
that
is
bill
she
every
saying
month.
that you owe her money for the cell phone
Because she
bill?
cut my phone off before I could pay the bill, and then she thinks because she cut my phone off that I was supposed to turn around and pay the bill. I can't use the phone, so why am I paying the bill?
You think that do you have a license?
No, I don't.
And you think she was driving the car and she got a ticket on the car?
Well, I wasn't
That's
sure.
a yes or no?
No.
She just said that you called her and you were angry that she had gotten a ticket, and she said, I'm in New York the whole time.
No, it wasn't that she had gotten a ticket. I said, the previous owner called me and said, why haven't you switched the titles on the car? I'm getting papers in the mail. And I was just like, how does he know that I haven't switched the titles? I didn't know that the registration would go right to his address. So I assumed maybe it was a ticket on the car, and that's why he's being contacted about the...
So you didn't know if it was a ticket?
No.
So you were letting her drive the car even though she didn't have a license? You knew that? Were you driving the car?
Yes, I was.
What's wrong with you? Why would you drive a
I
car
had to
without
get
a
to
license?
school.
Did you have insurance on this car?
No.
No.
What? What's wrong? And you have the gall to sue her in my courtroom? Are you kidding? Guess not.
No.
What makes you think that you can buy a car, drive it, let your cousin drive it without a license, without it being registered, without insurance, if you hit somebody who pays for it?
I wasn't thinking.
Oh, I think you were thinking. You're nobody's fool. You know to get your student loans, get them in advance, carry over for the following year. You're calling her up and saying, why is a previous owner, how would he know we didn't register the car? You got a gig going here. Talk to me. Who are you?
I'm Melanie Stevens. I'm both of their aunts. I'm her
You're the
mother's
aunt?
sister, and I'm her mother's sister.
All right, Auntie, what's happening here?
Well, as far as this car is concerned, when I first heard about the lawsuit, I kept telling Danielle, go ahead and go to court with her because she wants to take you to court. It's not going to work because you can't go into court with dirty hands, and I knew this.
Thank you very much. What are you suing her for?
I was just suing her for the balance owed on the car.
Who's got the car?
I do.
So why are you suing her?
Because I don't want the car. I wanted to give it back to her, but I just wanted the money.
Why don't you give it back to the guy who still owns it?
Because
Seeing as you
I
haven't changed the title.
I called him and he said it was too late. I told him about it.
Yeah,
I
it's
tried
too
to
late.
resell the car, but it has a salvage title, so it's not worth what we originally paid for it.
Oh, it's not?
No.
So why'd you pay that much for it?
I didn't know any better. He told me it was worth...
All right, what are you suing her for? Talk to me, Danielle.
I'm actually counter-suing her for either the balance back on the car, that I paid on the car, or the car itself, and also she actually vandalized my aunt's car.
Your car?
Yeah.
Why would she vandalize your aunt's car?
Because her and my aunt really don't get along, and they've gotten into a couple arguments, which she can tell you more about. And I knew about one of them. Well, she told me about one. I saw one, and there was apparently another incident where she had vandalized the car, and I was asked to come back to Texas to help them out, and I felt guilty about knowing about the scratches on her car, which my mother had told her, and I really didn't know at first.
But Danielle, what gives you the right to sue her for your aunt's car? That's her lawsuit, not yours. It's called standing.
I have agreed to pay half of it, and that's what I've been doing.
Why would you agree to pay half of her vandalism?
I knew about it, and I never said anything. If I would have said something in the first place, it would have never kept happening.
All right, well, here's the deal. Have you paid more than 50% of the vandalism cost to your aunt?
No.
All right, so you don't have any cause of action against her. Your aunt has a cause of action against her, and if you had paid more than 50% of the damage because you promised, then you could get that extra money from her. But you haven't, so that's dismissed. Now, the other part of your lawsuit is payments made on a car. How much?
$2,400. I paid her twice or 3 times $400. That was the day, on that paper, that was the first day I gave her the first $400.
All right, let me ask you a question. Why would you key your aunt's car?
I didn't key her car.
You didn't? She's making this up?
Yes. I was there when it happened. I wasn't there when it happened, but she called the cops about the whole occasion, and she was just like, I think Ashley did it, but she never once said, Ashley, did you key my car? And I would have told her, no, I didn't key your car.
Well, what were they arguing about at the time?
She came to my house one day, was upset, and I told her to I kicked her out of my house. The next morning, I go out to my car. I take me and my daughter to daycare, me to work. My car was keyed. I had no idea who did it. I had no witnesses. I called the police.
She tells you?
No, she doesn't tell me.
Who tells you?
Her mother. She admitted to her mother.
Why did you admit it to your mother?
Because I was just upset and I was venting about the whole situation between me and Ashley.
Okay, good. That's enough.
Okay.
All right. The issue for the court is whether or not the defendant owes the plaintiff money, specifically $2,100 on a car. That's what you're suing her for?
Yes.
All right. Now, if you have the car, why should she pay you anything at all? You've got the car.
Yeah, but the money was for school. That was
so why'd you buy a car?
Because she told me that if the agreement was that I would buy the car because I had the money in the account and she would pay me back when she got her school money. I said, as long as I get the money back before school starts, not a problem.
What is the blue book on this car right now?
When I went on Kelly Blue Book to go see how much it was worth, it said it was worth $3,400.
Yeah.
Actually, $3,700.
More than that.
And when I took it to try to resell it, when they printed out a Carfax for me and they told me it was only worth $1,800. And
what condition is it in?
Excellent.
Perfect.
All right, because my blue book says that it's worth $4,700. All right?
Okay.
So if you have a car that's worth $4,700, all right, and you're saying she gave you $1,200, you have possession of the car, she doesn't. Do you even have a license?
No, I don't.
And you come to this court and you want her to pay you the money for the car because you really don't want it? If you really didn't want it, you shouldn't have bought it in the first place. You pay her $503 for the cell phone bill, and let that be a lesson to you. You don't get a car from someone else to hold it, and I don't know what your thinking is, but it wasn't good. And then not transfer the title, not register the car, not insure the car, allow your cousin to drive it without a license. You're lucky you haven't been arrested. So ordered. $500 for the phone.